Every 6 or 7-figure speaker you admire is running the exact same business framework, whether they realize it or not. If you're not using it, you'll stay stuck trading time for talks, and no one likes to get into trading time for money. Now, most speakers treat their speaking business, in my experience, kind of like a side hustle. They speak, they collect a check, and they wait for the next inquiry. They sit back and hang out, and they hope that all of a sudden someone sees their breakfast today, and they go, oh man, that breakfast, get on my stage and speak. And it just doesn't work that way. But every single scalable speaking business runs on a proven framework that turns one stage into multiple opportunities, long-term contracts, and recurring income if you do it properly. Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the framework, and I'm going to share with you how to scale beyond just, we'll call it getting gigs, and really get to the point of building a true speaking business, which should be comprised of 3 individual silos of revenues you can create. So speaking on stage, coaching, consulting, that kind of stuff there, and then workshop/consulting. The difference, in my opinion, between coaching and what you would say workshops or consulting is coaching is like B to C. Right? I'm going right to the person, whereas consulting and workshops, I'm primarily being paid by the company to serve their people internally. And speaking is speaking. If you do this properly, they can each feed each other, right? A speech can feed to coaching, consulting, should, as well as vice versa. If I'm coaching somebody or I'm consulting a company and they have an event coming up, I'd like to be considered as a keynote speaker for them. So as we dive into this, I'm going to cover 5 different topics and ideas, we'll call it, that allow you to kind of uncover and see behind the scenes of 6- and 7-figure speaking businesses. Now, yes, there are some people who all they do is hop on a stage and speak. I know these people and they do a great job, but for me personally, I don't want to be a road warrior. Now, if you want to do that, more power to you, like 100%. It's awesome for people that want to do that. It's just not my wheelhouse. I want to be home with my kids right now. When they age out of the house, which is like 3-4 years, I'm going to be a ghost. I'll definitely be a road warrior. But right now, I want to be present at home. What that means is I have to leverage not just my stages for income, but I want to be able to still serve and make revenue. So I want to make sure that I'm coaching and speaking and leading into coaching, consulting. And then at some point, maybe I want to be in a position where I just speak. Totally okay, right? Or vice versa. I do find that what scares me a little bit too about just speaking is, well, what if I get sick? What if the pandemic, like it did before, shuts the world down? It's a very rare situation, but then all of a sudden I'm unemployed again. I don't like being there. I want to serve beyond the stage. Also, it impacts people beyond the hour they see you up on that stage serving. So here are the 5 ideas we're going to unpack now. First off, you must start with the $1 million message. Now, your business begins with one powerful idea that solves a real problem. You might already have been making 10, 15, 20,000 a keynote. It's totally cool. What I've found is few people can do the speaking at that level at a consistent space if you don't have something you're known for. This is where $1 million message comes into play. What is the thing that you talk about that no one else talks about in a similar topic area? Like mine is in resilience, change management, and a little bit of motivation and grit, but essentially it's dark work. It's my own thing within a mass, right? A bunch of people talking about something similar. I talk about dark work. It's my brand, my message, right? It becomes a foundation of your entire keynote. It becomes a thing that when people look to book you at a company, they're not just randomly booking you because they like you or like your story's cool. It's what is this audience going to benefit from the message? Now, if you're already moving and doing your thing, you can refine this pretty simplistically. If you're already out there doing a good job of speaking, this refinement could quite literally be the trigger that allows you to scale your income and your speaking. If you don't have something like this, you can easily float into being like everybody else. Nobody knows your difference, and you're just like the regular speaker around the corner, and you can't charge a high fee. Now, this allows you, on top of being able to have this great foundation for keynotes, it becomes a foundation for workshops, consulting, content, everything you put out into the world. It actually makes it easier for you. Like if you're out in the world trying to find a way, like, what do I put on social media today? Like, what's my video going to be about for long form? And what am I going to do for my shorts? Like, there's a lot of things you can talk about, but if you don't have a circular message that draws like gravity, everybody into it, you're just randomly talking. But if you have something you're known for, you can go and talk about some sidebar concept, but always come back to home, right? Allows you to have so much more traction and reach. So the clearer the message, the easier it is to sell and scale your brand. If you have something that's kind of in an area where people might know what it is, you're not known for that thing. If you're not known for that thing, we don't know why you would get paid the high fee, right? There's metaphors all over the place, but it's the difference between a general physician who just like your family's care doctor or a brain surgeon that works on specifically the prefrontal cortex. Like that's the person who is so specialized, they get all the gigs in that space because they are known for that. Whereas you're just kind of, you can do everything, and that's not an asset. As much you might think it is, it's not. Now, number 2, you must build your high fee framework. Whenever I look at planners that are booking me, they don't pay me for my story. They pay for the system and the value on top of the message, right? Meaning, whenever you go into the world and you're sharing, you could be a phenomenally skilled and gifted person on a stage and share words and be eloquent in your speech. That's great. But the audience needs to have something to take away. So if you don't have a framework that's woven into your keynote, it's just a story, you could be greatly skilled, you can have great, cool stories, but when the audience walks away, if they have nothing to chew on, you're not going to have much leverage beyond that. You definitely can't coach and consult because there's nothing more to have teeth to move them, right? You must package your expertise into a framework that delivers repeatable outcomes for anybody that comes across it. This is what separates you, but also it makes you highly valuable. Now you're not just a talking head sharing cool stories, it's a glorified YouTube video, we'll call it, right? So for me, I have a lot of different frameworks. One for me is called the hard method for our dark work. What I call the hard method as part of the process is, well, if I want to make a change, it's going to be hard to do so. And so the H, the H, the A, the R, the D, they mean something. So it's H is essentially like, what's the habit I want to put in place? And the habit's going to be like, what are going to be the things I want to put in place to move towards something? What are the actions I must take that are big actions, not consistent ones to get the outcome I want? If I'm down the pathway of doing something, I get faced with some unexpected problem, what will my planned reaction be? Good and bad, how will I have a reaction to the situation so it doesn't take me off track too far? And then D, what is the driver? What's the driving force behind my heart to get this thing right? So when you have a situation and you want to pursue something, you apply the hard method to this. Habits, actions, reactions, and drivers towards a new idea or a new pursuance of a goal. Now, this is one simple, really finite system I work into my work, but I can talk about this on stage. I can unpack this. I can be clear about it and flow smoothly. And now the audience has something to work on, something they can have as a chewing piece, we'll call it. So when they leave, they got something. It also allows me to scale the business. I can write a book around that if I wanted to. I can do coaching around that. I can do consulting around that. I can do other talks, just deep dive it on that. It allows me to leverage more than just the talk I have. Number 3. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video right now. Now, I want to let you know I have a training coming up. And in this training, I unpack my entire speaking business system. It's called the Speak to Freedom Formula. Now, in this system, I unpack what's literally taken me from $0 to 7 figures a year in my speaking business. And it's something that you can actually do for yourself. So all you have to do to get access to this is you can click the link that's in the description below and it'll take you there, or wait till the end of the video, check it all out and get over there. But no matter what you do, don't miss that. All right, that's it. Let's get back to the video. Number 3, you want to create marketing assets that convert. This is not just going, I got social media, I got a story reel, I got a web page. Like, yeah, that stuff's good, but does it look the way it's supposed to look to where people look at you and go, this person's worth the number they're charging? Or are they worth visibly more than what you're charging, right? So when I go into the world, I don't want someone to come across my work and wonder if this guy is actually legitimate or if he's worth the fee that he's charging. I want them to look at my stuff and go, oh yeah, this guy's legit. You do that, it separates you. Day in and day out, you get yourself in a position to where you were able to be hands down above other people trying to do what you're doing because you purely are the only one that has a visible or aesthetic change and difference from the average. You look good, right? So you want to have a demo, what I call is a story reel, that allows you to have a clear picture of your story and your message woven into the framework of the actual video so people can walk away from the video and go, I know their story, I know their message, I know why I can pitch this to my team to be the person to serve our audience, right? A demo reel is different in the sense of a demo is just you speaking, unedited, straight through to get a feel for what you're like on stage. A speaking page, what I call a 360 speaking page, should cover all the bases to listen to this to get somebody to want to talk to you. You're not selling yourself in that page by itself. Someone should want to talk to you or your team to find out more about what it is you can do and how you can conform your speech to fit a custom need that they have, right? Then you might have signature talk titles. I don't recommend having more than one to begin with, and I don't even recommend having one long-term unless there's really a clear difference between the two. But if it's something where you have a message you have and you have a talk about it, make the talk adjustable, not the title. Like adjust the talk to fit their needs. And then you want short form content going out that drives the idea into the heads and the hearts of those that might book you. Now, each asset should sell trust and transformation. Great assets remove hesitation and they make outreach effortless. They see your stuff and go, wow, this person's legit. They got it dialed in. And now you become the person they want to go watch, get on their stage and serve because you've seen and they've seen the things you do out in the world. Now, number 4. Systemize your lead flow. You want to build a consistent pipeline through social content, email, and direct outreach. You cannot wing this stuff. If you rely on hope and people seeing something you put out there in the world and going like, oh, viral video, I'm going to get a speech. Nope. Doesn't do that. I had a recent viral video go like 600,000 views. No one reached out from that as a booking. Right? They're like, hey, I saw you gave a cool talk on this thing on a stage. Can I book you for my stage? No. Now, will it eventually drive eyes to my other assets, my reel and everything? Yes, but I must also be doing outreach. But in my outreach, I can go, hey, I recently had this viral video go out. Here it is, right? I have something to give out to the world in my direct outreach. You cannot and should never rely upon luck. Build a machine that keeps stages coming to you, keeps them flowing in left and right because you are doing the outreach to draw them towards your brand, your message, and to you. I highly recommend using automations and CRMs to track and manage all your follow-ups, all your referrals, everything in one space. We use multiple tools in our company, Speak to Freedom, that make this a no-brainer. Like this is honestly the most uncomfortable thing people do, but it's the most effortless when you do it properly, and it returns on the investment of your energy and your time because you're doing something systematic and using automations. You've got to have something like this in place. Now, number 5, scaling beyond the stage. Now, you want to turn your keynote for sure into consulting, into licensing or digital products or into coaching. Why? And honestly, how? Why? You want to be able to make an impact in the world. You can do that in a window of time on a stage in an hour, but you can do so much more when you infuse what you do into somebody's life. When you show up in a way that allows you to actually listen to their head and listen to their heart, get to know what they're going through, and then actually give them a viable solution to solve their problem. Now they get this outcome that they can attest to you being the helpful piece to get them there. You were the pathway to their result they desired. They tell more people. And then you are happy because what? You got paid to do this. Right? You want to be able to make revenue from the time and energy you put in. Your work should produce an outcome. And if your outcome is good, people want to work with you, which means you can, in fact, make more revenue. Now, you might also find yourself having a solution to a problem that a lot of people face. I don't know what the solution is, but if they have a problem and you can solve this, you can license this. You can actually have curriculum or process or a tool or some software that can go into somebody's company and they can license that to serve their needs. You can also charge for this. And then also digital products, ebooks, workbooks, books themselves, right? Anything you want to put out in the world, you have something you can build upon because you're the person who's been on stage that people see as the go-to, as the expert. You are the authority. Being on a stage, it is hands down the best way to build authority and notoriety in an industry where people need your services, right? You're the person because you're the one on stage. So leverage the speak once, serve many ideal. I want to speak once and serve so many people beyond that stage because a scalable speaking business, it doesn't end with the applause. It begins there. It turns into the next and the next and the next. I know for me, I've found over the years, many stages I've been on have been one stage that turned into the next stage, the next coaching client, the next consulting opportunity. And I can trickle them all the way back like hundreds of thousands of dollars in income from one speech. That speech came from something else at some point in time. This is not accidental, and it doesn't happen because you hope it happens. It happens because you plan to have it happen. So you got to make sure you're spending time going through and going, what can I do to structure everything in my business to all work together seamlessly? Your coaching and consulting should reliably be fed by your speaking. And your speaking should also be reliably at a position where it's feeding other things, right? And then also coaching, consulting should be something where you actually, if you wanted to, could only do that. Do you have your own lead gen there, your own conversion style there in the coaching realm, right? Or do you have it in consulting? Are you doing your own outreach so they can be individual silos or individual business streams? When they become individual business/revenue streams, you can actually have a massive business, and then you can choose over time to not do as many speeches if you don't want to, or do more if you want to, but you are control of the knobs of intensity. Right? So as I kind of come to a conclusion here, speaking isn't just a craft, it's a business. And it should be treated as such because people like doing business every single day with good businesses. So be a good business. And if you want to scale all this, you need the right frameworks and systems. I can give you the entire breakdown of how to do this. Just head to speaktofreedom.com. You'll find out all the details of what we do. For me, the big important piece is not just having ideas that sound good, but giving you actual solutions. I want you to know how to make your assets. I want you to know how to be able to create a great keynote, or how to be able to do your social media properly, or how to do outreach properly using automations. If I just talk about this stuff and never have a solution for it, I'm just pointing out a problem, right? But I want to not just point out a problem, I want to provide a solution. And those solutions, they are accessible by you at speaktofreedom.com. So go head there, check it out. And if you have any questions or need me, comment below, whatever it looks like. Make sure you subscribe if you like these videos. There's more coming. And outside of that, I will see you in the next video.